Hello and welcome back to Don't Run with Scissors. I'm Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins, 4 crazy rescue dogs, and a rescue cat who likes to craft in her spare time. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It sends me a message, boosts my serotonin and my self-esteem, and I could use that. And if you're a returning friend, you already know the crazy you're in for. So grab your drink, sit on back, and let's have at it. We officially have the house, except for the back porch, which is not too bad, cleaned out. We've got the carpet ripped up. It is habitable. CPS is not going to come take anybody's children away. It is an amazing feeling to be able to do this for somebody. To tell you that I am not hurting would be an absolute lie. Because we got so much done yesterday, with the help of some friends, which there's no way we could have gotten it done without friends. So today I've got to run a couple of errands. I've got to get William a Santa hat for his concert this afternoon. I've got some work to do for clients. I'm hoping that Kohl's will let me use my Kohl's cash. Fingers crossed. The week was just, I'm exhausted. That's the bottom line. I'm absolutely exhausted. I am forever grateful for those of you who have donated to our Amazon wish list for these 3 wonderful people. Again, every day I am more and more amazed by my friends. So today, I'm taking the day off of going over there. I'm going to do some cleaning at my own house. I am in how many bags of trash can I get out in 1 weekend sort of mood, which is a fantastic mood to be in. I'm going hardcore on things, being more realistic about what I can and can't do, what I want, and even not so much what I can and can't do, what I want to do and don't want to do, what I want to own versus what I feel like I have to own because it was a gift. It was, so-and-so's brother's cousin's monkey's uncle. So life is good. Life is good. So, what? I'm so discombobulated, y'all. I'm so tired. I am hoping that the old doctor sent the new pain management doctor the reports, and hopefully I can get in and get my nerve ablation done on my back fairly soon. And yeah, that would be very helpful. Okay, so let's talk about haul. I think, and then we're part of today too is I'm going to discuss what my intentions are as of right now for 2026. And I think a lot of people are going to be very surprised at some of the decisions I have made. At least for right now, right? That could all change next week. Hello, Miss Lizzie. Oh, please, Miss Lizzie forgot I didn't get her carrot. And that's why she's all in a tizzy. Oh, please. Okay, sorry. Their routine is a little off. I'm doing things a little differently this morning. Usually I get up, I get my meds. Well, I get my meds for me. I get Lizzie her glucosamine. I give them each a baby carrot, and then I go shower. Or I take the boy to work if it's during the week. So, that's kind of off. Anyways, haul. First up, so Carrie, the DNA craft geek, posted this pattern. I thought it was absolutely hysterical. And then we talked about something else, and I'll show you that in a second to go with it, and I think it's absolutely hysterical. So my kids absolutely hate the Elf on the Shelf. Absolutely hate him. We have one. We got it when the kids were a little bit older. I think they were in like second or third grade. They were in third grade. And my son named him Douchois. Does that tell you how we feel about the elf? Ironically, our favorite Christmas game is the Elf on the Shelf game. And if you don't own the Elf on the Shelf game, I'm sorry. I picked it up on a clearance rack from Target after Christmas one year for like $2. It's sort of like the Elf on the Shelf meets Candyland and Clue. And we laughed the entire way through the game, which is the irony. But anyways, so Carrie had posted this, that she's stitching. This is one of her Christmas stitches. Bean thought it was the most hysterical thing, and so of course I rushed to get the pattern. Carrie also mentioned some ribbon, and she sent me the Amazon link. It's amazing. Amazing. Cannot wait to stitch that. Will it be done for this Christmas? Nope. Will it be done for next Christmas? Your guess is as good as mine. So yeah, so then I have some needlepoint canvases. I got My Fair Lady. She'll make a great ornament. I got a swimming round. I've made some decisions, and we'll talk about that because that's going to impact some things. I wish I could figure out, I've tried to look up Rogue Stitching to see if I could get the other adventures, and I can't figure out where to buy them, which is really sad because while I like Captain America, he is not my favorite. Join me on the beach. Absolutely join me on the beach. If you know me, you know me. This is supposed to be either a belt or like a bag strap. Well, I wish I could wear this as a belt. Alas, I cannot. But it's going to make a great purse strap. For those of you who don't know, that's the swim, bike, run for triathlon. I absolutely love this canvas. It will make. Now I've got to find a cool bag to put it on. What I'm thinking is I might stitch it and then make it like my gym bag handle. We'll see. Your guess is as good as mine. Those of you who also know that I ride a tandem now. And so that was perfect. Had to have it. Fell in love with these next two. I just think they're gorgeous. They're Christmas trees. They're bubble Christmas trees. Let's see. There's the yellow one, and there's the blue one. I absolutely love them. I just feel like they either remind me of like sea glass, like the beach, which is fine by me, or they remind me of like bubblegum trees, like, right? Like if you lived in Candyland, can't you see like those being some of the trees? And since I'm building a village, because stay tuned for plans, I thought they were perfect. Fell in love with this for Valentine's Day, which we all know. I am trying to love Valentine's Day. And I've actually, what's funny is while I may not necessarily love the holiday, I love stitching Valentine's Day things. I have a plethora of Valentine's Day ornaments for my tree. Probably more hand-stitched Valentine's Day ornaments than any other holiday. The irony. But I just thought he was so cute. I don't know what he'll get finished as, but whatever. But here is the pièce de résistance. He is going to make a glorious stand-up. He is just amazing. So what I've got to do is I've got to figure out, I don't want to lose like the gold swirls or the silver stars. And I've got to figure out how exactly I'm going to keep his details. I feel like, and so there's some gold and some swirls in the orange as well, in the starfish. And that's got to stay. So I'm open to ideas. But he is glorious. Absolutely glorious. Okay. So, as many of you know, I got advent calendars for the kids and I, right? And this was mine. And to say it has been a letdown would be the understatement of the year. Do not buy that. It is a piece of junk, especially for what they charge me for it. I've gone over, so they don't send you all the flosses you need in order to do the little stitches. You get to stitch on, it's like a plasticky burlap. It's just, and you only get one frame for 25 ornaments. And you open the, they're all sent to you like this. So once you open one, you know what they all are. Now some of them are cute, some of them are just weird. My ironically, my favorite, it's not my favorite, right? But I think it's absolutely hysterical, is this one. So at some point, I feel like I just to be funny, I need to stitch these, and I can't imagine any of them are going to take that long because, like, the most that's in any one of them is like, I mean, they're probably all less than 100 stitches. They're just so weird, but I think it would be funny. So as a result, what I've been having, usually it's Bean. Bean pulls a current whip or craft supply, and I have to use it, right? So I have been doing that, which has led to some really pulling out some whips that I haven't seen in a while, that you guys now will get to see, and some other things. But, and then, oh, by the way, I have 4 finishes to show you too. So let me show you my stitching and where we're at. So, one of the ones being picked was, I guess I do have to take him out of here. I wasn't going to, but I could. Is our little friendly owl canvas that we got. I started to put in his shoes, his Very Velvet shoes, because he's a dapper gentleman, and I love stitching in Very Velvet thread. It's by Rainbow Gallery, and it is just amazing. I'm going to actually, so I stitched over the laces in his shoes. They were weird how they were doing, so what I'm going to do is go in with like a little single strand of, or maybe a double strand of, probably just DMC, or I think I have some glisten, and then I will actually tie a little bow and put it on his shoes for him. So I got some stitches in that. I don't anticipate pulling that out again in the near future, just because I have so many other things that I want to get done. Trying not to. Oh, that can go in there. No, that doesn't go. Okay. So then one of the first ones Bella picked was Ask Not by the Rusting Eagle. And this whip is probably 4 years old. And we're not anywhere near being done. Which tells me, and like, even when I pulled it out, I was like, nah. So realistically, I either need to just push through it and finish it, because it is a beautiful pattern. For those of you who haven't seen it, it is beautiful. I mean, and it will go great on a patriotic wall, right? It will go great, but I think I just need to plow through it, or I need to give it up, one or the other, because that's where we are. And all I did was put in this row of gray. I went to go finish this box. There's a lot of blends because I didn't at the time want to invest the money in overdyes. So I did the conversion, so there's a lot of blends, which makes it even more less thrilling. I don't know. Or like, it's one that it makes me have to really think in order to stitch it right. And I found out that one of my threads out of my bag isn't in there, so now I've got to go searching and see if maybe it's in my master set, or else I'm going to have to go to Michael's and get it. But that's where we're at. She also, actually this was the first one she pulled. It is the Flowers of the Month, and they are a free sale on the Ellen Mars straw. I don't know if you can see that website, right? And Jessie Marie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff did this pattern, and I fell in love with it. I bought a piece of fabric that is big enough for this one and something else, but I don't remember what else I was going to put on this fabric. But when I started it, I had literally put in, I think I started this on 12 by 12 last New Year's. And I had this top row done, and then half of the X's done on this row. So I actually did put in a lot for the 24 hours, given my schedule, on this piece. I do want to keep working on it. I wish I could figure out what I was supposed to put on the other half of it, though, because I don't remember. Okay, so then Bean picked Quaker Flag. Something got on my fabric. I did wash most of it out, but you can still see the remnants, but whatever. So I had actually started, I put this flag square down here, so then I had to rip out those stitches, and I put those back in, and this was yesterday's. It might have been Friday night's pick, but I worked on it yesterday morning before we went over to my friend's place, so we're making progress. I do need to pull this out and get it done, because as soon as this is done, then I'm going to start. I have kitted up already One Nation, where it's like all the states on the flag, and I would love to get that done as well. And so that leads to yesterday's decision from her, and that was pandemic. I actually thought, hey Julie, I thought I was further along. I'm only at 36%. So if you are at 35, we are back to neck and neck, which means I need to really hustle. Now my goal was to get to 50% by the end of the year. So I put some stitches in, where? Oh, down here. My goal is to get down the side so that I can trim it up a little bit more. My goal was to get to 50% by the end of the year on the tan threads. I don't see that quite happening, and that's okay. Things have come up, and we're just going to roll with them. So, okay. That's it for my stitching. But As I mentioned, I have 4 finishes. Fully finishes, not just finishes. FFO finishes. So, in my pile of needing to be finally finished was my little Jeep, and he's all sparkly. He was done in, by the feel of it, Diamant. Is it perfect? Nope, because his tires are 2 different sizes. Do I care? Nope. Is anybody going to know but us? Nope. Do we care? Nope. So, got that FFO'd. So that was another one off my chart. And then I found in my own stash where I had the baby pom-poms. And it worked out just perfect. I got a glue goober. There we go. So I put the baby pom-poms on. That sort of took it. And then I put the ribbon. I think he's fantastic. So he is done. So then I pulled out Bougie Cat. Bougie Cat is now framed for Bella. And I'm not sure. I think I was supposed to go back and pop little baby buttons in the flowers. Bella doesn't really care, so I don't think I'm going to reopen it. I mean, I could very easily open it and pop some buttons on there, but I think it's just fine the way it is. So, Bougie Cat got framed for Bella's room. But here's the big one. I'm so excited about this. I finally got around to ordering the frame for Rosie. And Rosie's frame came in. And I was so excited that I promptly had to frame Rosie. What I realized is that my board was cut slightly off. So I used the board that they sent and repinned it and everything. And I'm so glad I did. Oh, she's so beautiful. That is like, it isn't honestly the piece that I did for Kay of her and Dennis and Rosie are they're tied for my most favorite pieces that I have ever stitched. And I think in part is because of the reaction that the person that I'm giving them to has towards them. Like, they love the piece just as much as I love the piece. So this is gonna get that's gonna get put in the mail. I have a bunch of other stuff that needs to get put in the mail. We all know how I am with going to the post office. It will not get done today. It might get done later this week. So that's all I got. So let's talk about next year. Next year, will likely be just as busy as this year overall. And what I'm finding is my stitching has become a chore. And when I say that, it's not that I don't enjoy it. What's happening is that I'm putting undue pressure on myself with all of these games, right? And having to keep up, and then feeling like I'm a failure because I'm not able to keep up because life, right? And then I end up just not stitching because, again, it's a chore, and I already have so much on my plate that I don't want my stitching to be a chore. I want it to be fun. So in order to get back to the fun, I have made some kind of hard decisions. They shouldn't be hard decisions, but for me they are. But in essence, I was just looking, okay. But in essence, for me, it's shifting my focus into some things that I want, into some things I need. I need to make me a priority. I make a lot of people a lot priority. I give them priority in my life over my needs. And that's over my basic needs. That's not just over my wants, right? Like, it's a difference between putting an emergency situation over, well, you know, my friend is in a car accident, but I decided that I wanted to go to the concert because that was my want, right? It's different when I'm saying, I can barely move right now because I'm so sore from the work I did yesterday. So now I can't do X, Y, and Z because I put something else in front of my health, right? So right now, as of right now, next year, I do not intend to participate in any games. I probably, as of right now, I'm not even planning on putting together a Whitgo board. Again, that may change down the road, but right now, it's not where my focus is going to be in 2026. I'm going to keep up with my Jeep board. I did add a color for things that I accomplished at my friend's house. So some of my Jeeps are now gold. Well, it was supposed to be army green, but my pen is actually metallic, so it looks gold. And that's fine. So we're at 40 finishes for my goal towards 54. I would love to finish way more things, right? And I have a plethora of stuff. Like, I have not even touched, like, to say, like, I finished, like, 10% of the things. Nope. So, I'm going to print out another sheet of Jeeps. And the goal is still a minimum of 54. Ideally, we'd get double that. And at this rate, that shouldn't be a problem. Kim and I, the crafty, well, Kim is a snitch stitcher. She was something else before. And I talked about doing the mini masterpieces and maybe focusing on doing 1 or 2 a month, right? And they're little. And I have the patterns already, and I have a basic set. I mean, I have most of the DMC colors in my set. I can't imagine how many I'm not missing. I can't be missing that many with as much as I have. So I'll be working on those because if nothing else, Houdini might want a little art gallery. For those of you who don't know, Houdini is our rescue cat. He's a dapper gentleman. He's very spoiled kitty, and that's okay. I am going to be focusing on getting here where I want it. I am going to paint that wall. That wall will be painted before the end of 2026, if not sooner. You know, we've joked about that wall since I started my floss tube, right? No, it's time. It's time that Kelly makes her own home a priority. It's time to be a priority to Kelly. I don't expect other people to make me a priority, although ironically most of my friends do make me a huge priority. So, I mean, that's kind of pointless, but so we're going to be working on the mini masterpieces. The other thing that I would really like to do is to work on my little village of needlepoint and cross stitch houses and people. And that's plenty for me. Like I said, I'm gonna continue on the Jeeps. That right now is a system that is working for me. I get frustrated with myself. Not frustrated, that's not the right word. It's that push, like, oh, I haven't finished something in a while. Like, it's been a couple days and we haven't crossed off a Jeep. Like, let's go do something. So it's sort of that. I need that. I have a bunch of little houses and buildings that I can do for my little, well, I have Halloween houses, I have summer beach houses for a little summery village, and then I have tons of Christmas, because, everybody puts up the Christmas village, so that's easy. I even have my naughty section of the Christmas village. 2026, I'd really like to see all of the tan done for pandemic. To be honest with you, that thing has been hanging around far, far too long. I just want to keep knocking out stuff. So, that's kind of where I'm at. It's also making sure that my business is taken care of and my business is growing. And not only that it's growing, that it's sustainable. That I'm making decisions for me that are not based out of fear and panic, but out of really an eye on the bigger picture. It is taking care of my health. The other part of that is in working with my therapist, I have decided that absolutely I want Ironman. I went through a phase there where I was like, well, maybe I don't really want Ironman anymore. Like, maybe I've grown out of it. And no, the answer really is I have unfinished business and I need to finish that. For me, it's not about proving that I'm good enough to anybody else. It's I want it. And I can do it. So you will see a shift in my time commitments towards hold please while the dog bells ring. So you will see a shift in things so that I can get back to training, which is going to take up time. You don't get to Ironman by doing short little 20-minute rides. That's where we are for 2026. It is basically going to be the year of Kelly. And I think it's going to be a fantastic year. So with that, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to get my butt in gear and try and run over to Kohl's and pray that they will let me use my Kohl's cash. So, remember, you are smart. And you are beautiful. You are strong and brave. You are loved. You are needed. And you are wanted. And mostly, you matter. So with that, feel free to reach out to me at His Princess Kelly on Instagram or TikTok, and I will talk to you there. Bye, y'all. See you next week.